Welcome back to States and Kingdoms. Today we're talking about Pink Floyd, Saucerful of Secrets. Now, Pink Floyd isn't a band that we are super diehard fans of.
No.
But we love them.
Well, I like a lot of their music. And I don't know, I'm sort of strange. I guess I like the earliest stuff and kind of like the latest stuff a little bit more than the middle stuff.
Like an Oreo. We both really loved Momentary Lapse of Reason and The Division Bell.
Yeah.
When we started listening to Pink Floyd as older children.
Well, we spent the whole summer. This is back in good old 2000. I think we spent the whole summer listening to every Pink Floyd album. It was on CD. It was all CDs.
Yeah, they were all, CD.
And I really, for whatever reason... Well, I had actually already had Piper at the Gates of Dawn. That was the first Pink Floyd album I had.
Yeah, you got that CD, like, early.
Don't know why.
Dad had most of...
He had everything else.
Everything else, yeah.
But he didn't have that. So
Yeah.
I got Piper at the Gates of Dawn, of course.
Because you were being cheeky.
Well, it was a thing, if you're a musician,
Well,
you have to say, I like Syd Barrett Pink Floyd better.
Yeah, you read that all the time in articles by other musicians. They always point to that album.
So I had that album, and then we just listened to everything else. And Saucerful of Secrets really stuck out for me. I really enjoyed this album, and I always thought of this as one of my favorite albums. And I've listened to it often, and that really hasn't changed. I like this. It's unique. Of course, it's a transition album.
Yeah.
It has all 5 of the members of the band on it.
Very special.
And, not together necessarily, but they're all playing at some point on the album.
All credited.
And there's some really interesting songs here. We could talk about that a bit.
Yeah.
Just right away.
Yeah.
Let There Be More Light, as Roger Waters wrote, it's reminiscent of Astronomy Domine. I mean, I always thought that. Mm-hmm. I always thought it's like you wanted to write a song kind of like that, but it's cool. It really is cool, and I like I like songs that like lead with the bass. So this is a really cool bass riff, and I like it a lot. The thing it has though, right off the bat, which is so cool, is Dave Gilmour and Rick Wright singing together, and that's one of the best singing combinations.
Yeah, like the Angels.
In rock music, certainly of that time.
No, the two voices blend together so nicely, and when you hear them singing, that's like iconic. That's Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
that's what Pink Floyd sounds like.
It is. You recognize it immediately. Yeah. It's like that's it.
Yeah, and I love them both.
And
love them both.
It's a good song. It's a really good song, and we just recently got the vinyl. I'd never had this on vinyl. This is not a reissue. Well, there's a reissue. This is not the recent reissue, and this is a stereo mix. I know there's a mono mix. Never heard. I'd like to hear it, but
this is pretty interesting.
Well, it is interesting. It's interesting to hear it on vinyl. It sounds
the cymbals start over here, and then they travel all the way over here, and then they go back.
I haven't listened to it on like a real system in a long time.
We got our hi-fi set up now.
You call it a hi-fi. But in any case, with like a real stereo field,
it's the highest high.
Everything going like from right to left and is really interesting. And on Let There Be More Light,
Crazy Diamond mixing that.
It certainly happens. Remember a Day. I always really liked. This is one of my favorite songs.
And I really like Rick Wright.
One of my favorite Pink Floyd songs, and I don't know if anyone else agrees with that.
Yeah.
But I really like this song.
He writes great songs.
Yeah, Rick Wright was... I mean, of course he's an integral part of Pink Floyd, but he was a great musician. Mm-hmm. And he wrote some great songs. And I really like his voice.
Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun?
Yeah. So there are 2 longer songs on this that are actually, I think, really quite stunning.
This one?
This one, of course, has all of them on it. They did not all play at the same time or anything, but they're all on it. Syd Barrett has recorded guitar on here. It's a really really good longer form song.
Yeah, it builds in a really successful way.
It doesn't become dull. It doesn't become overlong. That happens.
Great lyrics.
It happens often. With the song that you even like. Maybe it's a 8-9 minute song that you like for maybe 6 of those minutes, and then you're like, okay, that's enough.
Voodoo Child, Slight Return.
No.
Voodoo Child.
No. Sorry, Jonah. No. No, but even some, it doesn't bother me like Metallica songs that return after you think they're over. And it's like, oh, here's another verse for you. Things like that. But this is a really interesting kind of meditative song, and I really like it. Great bass line, everything about it. It sounds great.
Yeah, super atmospheric.
The only song... See,
you're putting your critical hat on.
Pink Floyd was, at this time, when Syd Barrett was disappearing, you could say.
Into his own mind.
And they were trying, I guess, scrambling to continue and figure out how to continue. They put out a couple of singles and that aren't the greatest. And yet, this album is extremely strong. I think this does not seem, as much as it's a transition, I know there are people that don't like this album, I'm sure. But as much as this is like a transition album, I think it's very strong. Mm-hmm. Corporal Clegg is the only song that I would think I'll say it this way. It's the weakest song on the album.
Do you think it's Roger Waters trying to write a Syd Barrett song?
Well... I think he did that a number of times, early on. And in a way, yeah. But it doesn't have any of the...
It's like Sergeant Krupke.
Obviously, it's not really like Syd Barrett, because it doesn't have that... the poetic humor and irreverence of Syd Barrett. And Roger Waters could never write like that anyway. So he's not trying to write like that, but
like the subject
matter. It somehow feels like kind of a Syd Barrett type song, but it also looks forward to things that Roger Waters
Corporal Clegg, he's a guy
would do later.
If you like him.
It's a catchy song.
It is actually really catchy.
The only
thing
is,
say that.
Other than Crosstown Traffic, don't put kazoo in your songs. Unless you're the kazoo temple... Was it the Temple Kazoo Orchestra?
Yeah, kazoo is a special instrument. Side 2, A Saucerful of Secrets.
I also just want to say, that Dave Gilmour has a great voice.
Yeah.
No, he's
a great face.
Right away, he's a great voice, and he's singing a lot. He gets a lot, again, like a guitar player. There are a number of them. A lot of credit for his guitar playing. Rightly so. But he has a great voice.
He actually can sing.
Yeah. And, he does.
And he can, see out of his blue eyes.
Nick Mason sings nice, too.
Nick Mason's fine.
Nick Mason's a great drummer.
No,
I really do. I like Nick Mason's drumming. And the sounds. The drum sounds on Pink Floyd are always good. Yeah, Saucerful of Secrets. This is... I don't know if this is a divisive song in any way. Obviously, it's... I really think this is one of my favorite things they ever did. Pink Floyd. I'm talking about Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd here.
Divisive,
well, I don't know
among the fandom?
Well, because it's fairly long. It's not very rockish.
Kind of moves through different...
And it has,
forms.
It kind of goes through different suites or sections that they have named, and I will not be able to remember the names. There's...
Vinny?
Yep, Vinny.
Bob.
Fred. Celestial Voices is the last one, which, it's a funny name.
Little Nemo?
Little Al with the gimpy leg. Yeah. Anyway, this song is so interesting, and this was really, I mean, this is post Syd Barrett, totally something that they really Syd Barrett they probably would not have done.
It feels like they're really kind of just stretching out as a band, trying to just, push the boundaries and see what they're going to be doing, sound-wise.
This song sounds like Tangerine Dream to me. And I mean, there's no,
And that's something that we talk about often when we talk about our, music categories. Like, people love to categorize everything. And we're often saying that Pink Floyd gets lumped in with prog rock.
Yeah, well, I mean, genres, they're like road signs. I did, in that sense, they share qualities with a number of different genres,
But the electronica,
yeah,
that's interesting. That's actually interesting.
Well, it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of known. I mean, the Tangerine Dream and some of those groups, the Pink Floyd had an influence on them. But, yeah, this song really, you do hear it. And we grew up listening to Tangerine Dream a fair amount for reasons undisclosed. And
for reasons.
It's like Rodgers and Hammerstein, Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, and Tangerine Dream, folks. But,
Raccoon.
It is a great piece of music. It is. It's just
really exciting.
It's good. Seesaw is also.
Seesaw, I don't know if people
love that song or not, but I like it.
I like it a lot. I think it's got a beautiful Rick Wright melody. He writes some really gorgeous songs.
I like the lyrics. I like everything. I like everything about it. It's just a really good song.
Yeah, the vocals nice. It's pretty.
Yeah. I don't know if people really like that song or not. I don't know what they think about it.
Well, let me tell you. I like it.
I don't care what you think.
People.
Jug Band Blues is, of course, this is like kind of haunting.
Yeah.
It's a really good song. And it has what you love about his songs. The first line, is great. And he just had that knack for those lines. I just like, I really love you and I mean you. Lines like that he does, not in this song, obviously. But, right. He's really unique. He's really, really unique. Yeah. There's no one really like him. Certainly no one like him then.
It's a really sad story.
And it's a good end to the album.
It's such a switch to go from Piper at the Gate to Dawn, which was so Syd Barrett.
Yeah, entirely
his songs, to all of a sudden to shift where, it's the rest of the group writing and Syd Barrett is on his way out, unfortunately. But that's a giant jump for a band to take between one album and then the second album.
There's no guarantee that they were going to actually continue.
and they made it. And
certainly did.
Pretty famously so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do more. We'll talk about more Pink Floyd albums. And, we're not talking about Pink Floyd. We're just talking about this one album. It's always difficult to do that. You're just this album.
In 3.5 minutes.
Yeah. But I really do like this album.
Yeah.
I do listen to it a lot. It's...
Today.
Well, yeah, I did. It's just, I love early Pink Floyd before Roger Waters. Before Roger Waters, like...
Flew up his own.
You could say that. Anyway, this is a fantastic album. I'm sure most classic rock people, of course, have listened to this.
Of course they do.
Saucerful Secrets is really interesting. Really, really, important historically too. Just for its influence on kind of ambient music and, really great songs. And sounds great.
Yep. No, it's awesome. Check it out if you don't already. Hope you liked our talk about Pink Floyd. Please make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And make sure to stay tuned because we have more videos coming out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here at Stacey Kingdoms. Thanks so much for watching.